y'all. Welcome to the Trademark Like a Boss show. We are kicking off season 2 today. I am Radiance Harris, founder and managing attorney of Radiance IP Law, and I am super excited to have with me today Dr. Evonne Thompson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So good to be here.
Well, let's jump in and please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes, thank you. So my name is Evonne Thompson. I'm founder of Elici, basically, which is a movement to empower women leaders to find their divine path by embracing whole wellness. I'm also the author of my latest book, which is Can You Sleep Like This in the Rest of God, which focuses on the principle and value of rest, both from a physical perspective and spiritually as a life discipline.
Awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's talk about your book. So share with us, why is rest so important? Why is it the key to success? And how can people be more mindful of incorporating it into their lives?
Yes, I feel like we live in a performance-based culture and everyone's just on the go, go, go and trying to do as much as possible in as less time as possible. And so when you look at rest, I believe that the principle of rest focuses on the opportunity for each of us to just take time to slow down and the opportunity to also reset. That during that time of physical rest, it allows us to reflect, take time to rejuvenate, and reset ourselves for what's to come next.
So when you talk about rest, are we talking about just like getting a lot of sleep? Are there other ways that we can incorporate rest other than sleep?
Yes, so rest is more than just sleeping. Rest is inclusive of also taking time for ourselves, being able to take a break from the mental stresses of life as it relates to, a lot of times we're juggling not only work, we're juggling family, we're juggling making errands, cleaning, chores, etc. So it's just taking time away from the things that obligate us, that may be from a work standpoint or even just obligations, whether it's, making errands, and we could take a break where it's for 4 hours or a half a day. It could include a nap. It could just taking time for self, like, getting our nails done, going to lunch with friends, but anything that we're intentionally doing where we're taking time for ourselves that removes us from the mental stress, emotional stress of just being always on the go.
Yeah, I totally get it. I'm personally a fan of the nap ministry. I love me a good nap, and I also love some self-care. And I did notice, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that there is some correlation between getting more rest and practicing more self-care and just more success in business and career. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I think a lot of times that, as I shared, we tend to squeeze as much time into the day where we say, well, if I reduce the quantity of sleep that I have in order to get more done, get more things done, that it would help us to be more productive. We could go days without eating, days without even drinking anything, but we can't go days without sleep. Our body will automatically shut down at some point in time. And so when we look at being successful from a business perspective, being able to reset, take time away from, even when you write a document or a report, they say you should set it aside for a day or two before you come back to review it because it's no longer as fresh, and that fresh perspective will allow you to have a new look at it, to catch errors or change things in it that may need to be tweaked. And our bodies are similar, where we're designed for our bodies to sleep, that when we're sleeping, our organs, our muscles, everything are taking time to regenerate, restore itself during sleeping so that we can wake up and be refreshed. And I think the same concept mentally or even emotionally is good as well.
So what led you in your business to start really focusing on this idea of rest? How did you get here in your own personal and business journey?
Well, as a corporate professional and juggling being on the go as a consultant in the Big Four, working with public accounting firms, I was traveling a lot, sometimes every day, every week, and then also working 60, 70 hours a week. I also had ministry obligations, family obligations. And so regardless of if I was, with family or on vacation, I was always like on the go. If I'm on vacation with the family, met with my family, if a call came in from the partner, once I got back to the hotel at night, I was still working, even though I was supposed to be on vacation. And I had an epiphany one day that if something happened to me, that the company would still carry on. Like I
Right.
would not be missed maybe for one day, but at the end of the day, they would still carry on. And so I began to just really ask the Lord for his help on having more balance and finding balance because I was starting to feel sick as well. And so that epiphany started the journey of trying to find more balance and rest in my life as it relates to not just work, but even from a personal perspective.
Amazing. I totally get it. I did the same thing with business. The first few years of business, you're really on your grind, you're working, working yourself to the bone. I also did the corporate grind too, so I get it. But once I really started to slow down, actually, that's when business started to really start booming. Like people get afraid to just rest because they think that taking a break or resting is going to counterproduct their success or affect their revenue, when in fact it can be the exact opposite. At least that's what I personally experienced. So thank you for sharing that. So let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about your decision to trademark. You are one of our clients. And so I'd love to hear what was the motivating factor for you to start the trademark process.
Yes, as a consultant and working with clients myself, in that case, like large Fortune 500 companies, we had a lot of instances from a legal perspective where clients were struggling with like contract obligations, people who were doing things that did not align with what their role was. And so when I started Elici, I also wanted to just put myself in a position to protect myself, where my ideas and things that I did would be protected. And I had attended a legal seminar, trying to make myself more aware about things from a legal perspective, and trademarking was shared. And I said, well, this is something that I think I need to.
Oh, you froze a little bit. There's technology for you. Well, welcome back. I think the last part was cut off about you, the last few seconds cut off.
Right. I attended a legal seminar and they talked about trademarking. And so I recognized that that was something imperative that I need to incorporate in my business and moving forward to protect my intellectual property.
Awesome. And so, how has the trademark experience been for you so far?
Well, I find that Radiance Esquire is superb. And I had looked at a number of different companies, and I felt like the way that your company was very organized, everything was laid out. It was a flat fee. There was no hidden expenses or surprises. And then from beginning to end, everything was incorporated. So my experience with your company, I thought was exceptionally well. And then even just the responsiveness, if I had questions or needed understanding, because I don't have a legal background, everyone was always very responsive, getting back to me within a day.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that feedback for sure. And it's been a pleasure working with you during the trademark process. So I would love to hear from you about what is a major, I guess, the biggest uh, business lesson you've learned since being in business.
I think it's important for us to seek counsel and not try to do everything alone, and having professional advisors around who can give us advice in skills or ideas or things that we are not experts in. I'm a CPA. I have a lot of business consulting experience, but it's not directly legal related. And so not just trying to Google information, but actually seeking advice and counsel from professionals and experts.
Yeah, that's important. The importance of delegation, what I think also goes in line with your idea of rest and not trying to do all and be all, and knowing when to outsource to people who are experts and can just do it better and more efficiently. So that's a great point. So anything that you'd like to share with our viewers, anything coming up, how can they reach you?
Well, from a business perspective, I continue to expand Elici. I have a women's retreat coming up in May that I'm really excited about. We had our first retreat this past May, and we're going to do it again on May 19th and 20th of next year. And by, staying connected with me, you'll be able to stay in the loop of upcoming events and activities, resources, and training that we have down in the pipeline.
And how can people stay connected with you and learn more?
Yes, my website, which is on the screen, elici.org. That's the best way to stay connected. As I shared, all the resources and events that we are involved in are on my website. I also hope that I will be contacting Radiance Law in the future with some other things that we have in play from a intellectual property standpoint.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us today, Dr. Evonne. It's been great having you.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great opportunity to speak with you.
Well, thank you all for tuning in for today. We are kicking off season 2, so I hope you will stay in tune with us the rest of this season. We have a lot of exciting guests coming up. If you were watching live, thank you so much for watching live. If you happen to watch the replay, just drop #replay so that we know that you tuned in. So until next time, take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Blessings.